Right, this is ayah 4. So talaq has Allah mentions a number of points in relation to in that ayah, in that surah. All right, ayah 4. And this 65, surah 65. It says, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. And whoever have taqwa of Allah, Allah will make his affairs easy. Allah will make his affairs easy. So either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the external conditions easy for you to go through, or he'll make your heart easy to go through whatever you're going through. Or both. That is, that is, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us and increase us in our this in taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, another benefit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will defend and protect the muttaqeen from all the schemes and plots of their enemies. Allah will protect the muttaqeen from the schemes and plots of their enemies. In Surah Al Imran, this is Surah 3, Ayah 120, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا. In tasbiru as-sabr, because sabr is so important. The believer should never become impetuous. Don't become hasty. Don't become hasty about anything. Always be balanced and take your time. Put your trust in Allah. You need to do that. Right? Don't become too impetuous. Because be eager. No, don't get carried away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will work it out. Allah knows what He's doing. Allah will work it out. And this is in tasbiru, if you're patient. If you are patient. وَتَتَّقُوا, and you truly have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَا يَدُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. Then the plots and plans of the enemies will not harm you in any way. Allah will bring you through. It will not be able to harm you. And we can go back and see a same example of Musa, the same example of Nimrod with Ibrahim. They can't harm. With the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you truly are patient and you truly fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the schemes and plots of the enemies will not harm you anyway. Allah will make sure that they do not harm you. Inna Allah bima ta'maluna muhit, because Allah encompasses all that you do. Allah encompasses all that you do. He will sort it out. So all these are promises of benefits in this dunya. All these are benefits from this dunya. But some of the benefits that we find in the dunya and also the akhirah, that covers both. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the believers, that the muttaqeen, that they will not grieve, they will not fear or grieve on leaving this dunya to go to the next. We all know that we will leave this dunya to the next. Nobody got permanent residence here. Right? Nobody got permanent residence here. Right? Even though, when people, visitors who come to this country say, oh, we have permanent residence. that permanent residence is only temporary. The permanent residence is only temporary. So it's temporary. As long the residence is only as long as you live. And so it's temporary. All right? It's temporary. But so we all have to leave this life. All of us have to leave. So nobody here permanently. Nobody is here permanently. Everybody has to leave. So, and it is scary leaving. God, death is, we leave by the way of death. Death is the portal or the gate through which we leave this life to go to the next one. All right? death is the portal or the gate through which we leave this dunya. Just like birth is the portal or gate through which we come from death into this life. Right? Birth is the portal that in which we come in. Death is the portal through which we go out. All right? And so there's portals. That's why you don't fear. But it can be terrifying because you don't know what can happen. Because we are always afraid of the unknown. We are always afraid of the unknown. So it's terrifying, right? To think. People are afraid because they don't know what, they are afraid because of where they're going. They don't know what's going to happen. And they're sad or grieved by what they leave behind. Of family and friends. And some people grieve over their want money or whatever they grieve over. All right? But they grieve over what they're leaving behind. But they're usually fear for what they're going into because they don't know. And so there is usually the fear and grief for the person who's dying. Fear and grief. And this has nothing to do with the actual pangs of death. Right? There's nothing to do with the pangs of death. It's a very serious condition. That part, because the part mentioned, they are pangs of death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the muttaqeen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya bani Adam, imma yatiyannakum rusulun minkum yaqussuna alaykum ayati. Does it you or children of Adam? It's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send messengers to inform you and remind you. Allah says, فَمَنِ اتَّقَى whoever have taqwa wa aslaha, and they continue to improve themselves, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Surah Ma'idah. Surah A'raf. Surah 7, yes. 35. And there are many ayahs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna ladina qalu rabbunahu thumma istaqamu tatanazzalu alayhim al-mala'ik alla takhafu wa la tahzanu wa abshiru bil jannati allati kuntum tu'adun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, concerning the believers of taqwa, He says that at the time of death, the angels come. تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. The angels come at that time and say to them, لَا تَخَافُوا, do not be afraid. وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا, and do not be sad. Do not be afraid of what you are moving forward. Do not be sad of what you're leaving behind. And so the angels come and comfort the believing God-fearing person. The angels come to comfort you at the time of death. The angels. So this is why you find that very often the God-fearing person, when the Malik al-Maut comes, that the person very often is a very calm death that they had. They're not terrified. They're not jumping and screaming. It's very, very calm death that they had, because the angels comfort them. نحن أولياءكم في الحياة الدنيا. We were your awliya, your prayers and helpers during life. وفي الآخرة we'll also be there. So don't worry about it. It's okay. We can. And so the angels come and comfort them. And so the angels come and they comfort. And so the person who dies, who's the believer, God-fearing believer who is dying, you find that he is not perturbed because the angels are there comforting him. The angels, and he can actually see the angels during that period, because it's usually a process of exiting. Is a process. They don't happen it's usually a process. So he can see. Rasulullah said that the angels who take care of the souls, that they come before the Malakal Maut. They come before Malakal Maut. And if it's a good soul, they bring a coffin from Jannah. And it smells like musk. And if they're bad, if they're disbelievers and bad people, then they bring the angel, the other group of angels who take care of them, they bring a coffin that is from the hellfire, smell bad. And they come and they sit. He said, Mother Sa'im Basari, they sit right at the distance from you, to you, and you can see them. And they just sit and wait. Right? That's where you find some people, that they be talking, there's such evil in this room, this and that, and they're going, no, because they see the angels and they're terrified of them. But the believers, they feel good. They're very calm, they're very quiet, they don't fuss, they're just relaxing. Right? They're not afraid, they're not scared. They don't. One person, one brother that really, that I remember an experience with him, and I've seen a couple of cases with it, but my experience here was Brother Munta's brother, right? Comedine's dad. Yes. He was dying. I used to go spend every day, spend some time with most not every day, but go spend time with him because he liked to read, liked to listen to the Quran. Right? When he was dying, he liked to listen to Quran. He don't want nobody talking to him. But if he's in the room and you start talking anything other than Quran, he put you up. He put you up. You don't want nobody else in there. You're talking nothing else other than Quran or Islam, something with Allah. Otherwise, you talk dunya, anything, he put you up. Right? You know what you need. Very, very, very beautiful. And he's on his 4th stage of cancer, which is the most terrifying period of cancer. Because it's the most painful. Because when you reach the end stage of the 4th stage is what take you. The end stage of the 4th stage of cancer, there's no medication that you can use. That last 4th stage, because the pain is so excruciating that if they should increase, we usually give you morphine and that kind of stuff at that stage, because the degree of pain, they increase the medication as you go. Morphine is one of the last stages of pain medicine that they give you. And if they should increase the pain medicine in commensurate with the pain that you're feeling, the pain medicine would kill you. All right? So they cannot give you a commensurate with it. So it can only temporary. You cannot miss that last phase of serious pain. And he'll be there, and the nurse comes, and she wants to give him medicine. And he will say, I don't need it. And she's insisting, no, you must need it. And he's telling, no, I don't. I'm good. And she cannot imagine, they cannot imagine. How come you don't want the medicine? He said, I don't need it. This is an actual case. This is not somebody telling me that this is what I experienced with him. A beautiful person. He's there. He's less laying, most of the time his eyes closed, and of course he experienced, he was in and out as usual, going through the stages, and he'll be in and out. So, sometimes he's with the angels, and sometimes he's there with you. But he's peaceful. No crying, no complaining, no nothing. Just peaceful. So, and I've known cases like that. So I know, I know for sure, because I've seen cases that I know that what is being said is true. I know what being said is true. It's not It's not story, because I have experience. And he comes immediately to mind. When I read this, that yes, this is true. Angels do come and comfort them. At that point, angels come and comfort them, and they don't worry, they don't concern, because they have the comfort of the angels. Have the comfort of the angels. May Allah want to make us like that, it's really, death is a terrifying experience. It is a terrifying experience. And for the angel to come at that time and comfort you, it's so much. It's so much, that you don't think. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this is what it is. Another thing that as benefit for here and in hereafter is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the good deeds of the muttaqeen. Allah accepts the good deeds of the muttaqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Ma'idah, which is Surah 5, Ayah 27, إنما يتقبل الله من المتقين. إنما يتقبل الله من المتقين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the matter between the two sons of Adam, Habil and Qabil. Right? He talks about the matter between the two of them, and what when they Qarraba Qurbanan, they both made an offering to Allah. Allah accepted from one, and Allah did not accept from the other one. And the one who he did not accept from says, I'm going to kill you. Right? And so he wanted to kill his brother. And his brother said to him, verily Allah accepts only from the muttaqin. You were not muttaqin, that's why Allah didn't accept. Allah accepts from the muttaqin, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is tayyib al-jad. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells in the hadith, Inna Allah tayyib la yaqbalu illa tayyib. Allah, verily Allah is good, and he only accepts good. He is good, and he only accepts good. So the person must be, so the heart must be good, it must be sincere, and the deed must be good. Huh? The heart must be sincere, and the deed must be a good deed. Because even if the heart is sincere and the deed is a bad deed, Allah will not get it. Right? So as in Islam, the ends does not justify the means. Right? In dunya where we live, and this world where we live, the ends justify the means. But in Islam, no. The ends does not justify the means. If the ends is noble, the means must also be noble. Right? So it must be accepted for it to be accepted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the deeds. And just quickly then, some of the benefits from the hereafter, and as I said, I'm just going to try to wrap up quickly. And some of the benefits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that, the believers, the muttaqeen, will be elevated above the disbelievers. They will be elevated, because this will be down and this will be up in the hereafter. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Baqarah, Surah 212, Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And those who have taqwa will be above those who are disbelievers in the hereafter. Right? They will be above them. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save the muttaqeen from the hellfire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save them from the hellfire, because each and every person have to pass the hellfire. As we know, the Sirat, the bridge goes over the hellfire. So everybody got to pass it. Everyone have to pass it. Right? Everybody has to pass there. Everybody has to pass there. And, there are those who will fall into the hellfire, and there are those who will traverse and go into the Jannah. May Allah make us among those who go to Jannah. But everybody passed there. He said that when they read this ayah, the companions read this ayah, they used to cry because they're scared.
But what about the group who just raised and entered the Jannah? Well, the mother passed too?
Yes, everybody passed. Everybody. But the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that there's a group that goes like lightning. They go so fast that they don't even realize that they passed. So when they get the gates of Jannah, they reach the gates of Jannah, and the angels welcoming them to go in. And they said, but I mean, the Prophet told us that, you know, we're going to pass over whatever. Where's this? He said, you don't pass it already. You don't pass it already. You don't call us into Jannah. They can see it. May Allah make us among those. You know, and then the people who go left slow and slow and slow. To the last ones who will enter Jannah are those who are crawling across the Sirat. They are crawling on the all fours across the Sirat. And so they're badly burnt. By the time they reach the gates in Jannah, they're badly burnt. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the angels tell them enter Jannah, and they say, look, Allah, how we are burnt up. We are black because the people in Jannah are beautiful. Why we love, you know. So then Allah will send them to the river of life. And there they go, they dip in the river of life, and they all come back, the people of Jannah. Alright? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us in the Jannah.
Ameen.
Yeah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah says, إِلَّا مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُوهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمٌ مَقْضِيًّا. This is a part from it. ثُمُّ نُنَجِّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا. And then we will save those who have taqwa from them. وَنَذْرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. And we will leave, and we will leave the evildoers in the hellfire humbled. We will leave them there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah 9, there's in Surah Maryam. Surah Maryam, that last ayah we covered. Surah Maryam, which is Surah 19. Surah 19, 71 to 72. Alright. The next ayah is also Surah Maryam, right? 85, ayah 85. Allah says, يَوْمَ نَحْشُرُ الْمُتَّقِينَ إِلَى الرَّحْمَنِ وَفْدًا. On the day when we shall gather the muttaqeen, the God-fearing ones, to Ar-Rahman as guests, as a guest, a delegation. Allah says we'll gather them like a delegation. A waft is a delegation of guests that come to visit, you know, we honor you. So you treat them with honor and respect and all of that because they come as a waft, as a delegation. So Allah said He will gather the muttaqeen like a delegation of guests, of honored guests. Right? وَنَسُوقُ الْمُجْرِمِينَ إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ وِرْدًا. And they will drive, and we will drive the evildoers to the hellfire. Like how you herd cattle. How you herd the cattle. You will drive them to the hellfire. Like how you drive, how you herd cattle. So the muttaqeen will be treated like an honored delegation, and the evildoers will be treated, you know, be driven to the hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Right? The muttaqin also will enter the Jannah. They will therefore enter the Jannah and inherit the Jannah. In Surah Qalam, it is ayah 68. Surah 68, ayah 34. Allah says, Innal muttaqina inda rabbihim jannatin na'im. Verily, for the muttaqin, with their Lord is the gardens of bliss. The muttaqin have with their Lord gardens of bliss. And in another, in Surah Tur, which is Surah 52, ayah 17, 17 to 20, Allah says, إن المتقين في جنات النعيم. Verily, the muttaqin, the God-fearing ones, will be in gardens of bliss. Jannatin wa na'im. They will be in gardens and bliss. They will be in gardens and bliss. فَاكِهِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمْ. Enjoying what the Lord gives them. وَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ عَذَابُ الجَّحِيمِ. And Allah will protect them and safeguard them from the hellfire. Allah will safeguard and protect them from the hellfire. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Eat and drink and enjoy that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according by what you used to do. مُتَّكِئِينَ عَلَى سُرٍ مَصْفُوفَةٍ. They will be inclined or reclining on elevated seats. وَزَوَّجْنَاهُمْ بِحُورٍ الْعِينِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will marry them to the Hur al-Ain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among them. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala they mentioned this, and I just mentioned one other ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Dhariyat. Right? In the last part of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the hereafter. The last part of the Quran, is most of the ayahs, most of the surahs in the latter part of the Quran, latter third of the Quran, discusses the hereafter and the Jannah and the Jahannam and the hellfire, the paradise and the hellfire, and discuss the situation and stuff like that. Most of the last part of the Quran does that. Whereas the first part of the Quran discusses the ahkam and the sirat, and the ahkam and how to live and how to function, how to behave, and how to deal and how you should live in this dunya, and how to believe and how we should believe and all that. The last part, most of the time you find it talk about the hereafter. All right? Because that's where we all headed. All right? So the first part gives us the directions on how to get through what's going on at the end. Right? So the first part prepares us for the end. Right? That's where, there's the prayer. إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي جَنَّاتٍ وَعُيُونٍ. Allah says, verily, the muttaqin will be in gardens and fountains. In gardens and fountains. آخِذِينَ مَا آتَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ. Receiving what their Lord has given them. إِنْهُمْ قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ مُحْسِنِينَ. Because before they were doers of good. In dunya, they were doers of good. كَانُوا قَلِيلًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ مَا يَهْجَعُونَ. And they used to spend a portion of the night, a small portion of the night, they were spent in submission and worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَبِالْأَسْعَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. And during the day they will be making istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they worship Allah during the night, when everybody's sleeping, and in the day they're making istighfar. When they're busy doing what they like, and they're still making istighfar to Allah. وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ. And in their wealth, they have a portion for those who are deprived. So they give charity to those who are deprived. And we can go on and on about this. There's a lot of ayahs like that, right? That talks about that. I just want to give one ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah describes the Jannah. Where Allah describes the Jannah. One of the descriptions that Allah gives the Jannah. Right? And this is in Surah Muhammad. Right? It's Surah 47. Right? Surah Muhammad. This is Surah 47, ayah 15. Allah says, مَثَلُ الْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي وُعِدَ الْمُتَّقُونَ. A likeness of the Jannah in which was promised to the muttaqun, to the God-fearing ones, to the people of Taqwa. فِيهَا أَنْهَارٌ مِّن مَاءٍ غَيْرِ آسٍ. In it are rivers, right? Rivers of pure water. River, ayah 15. rivers of pure water. It says the waters that you drink from Jannah, that once you drink it the first time the person drinks from it, his thirst is quenched and he never thirsts after that. So he just drink water to enjoy it. Just enjoying the drinking of water. Because he's not drinking because he's thirsty. He's drinking just to enjoy it. Subhanallah, just enjoy the water because the water is so nice. You know, he's just enjoying it. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّن لَبْنٍ غَيْرُ لَمْ يَتَغَيْرُ طَعْمُهُ. And it is a river of milk. Rivers of milk that does not change its taste. It remains nice and fresh always. Rivers of milk. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّن خَمْرٍ لَذَّةً لِلشَّارِبِينَ. And river of wine that the taste that is tasty to the one who drinks it. And you don't get drunk. So you enjoy drinking without getting drunk. That's one of the benefits of the river at the wine of the hereafter. Here in the wine of the hereafter you can't drink it. At the dunya you can't drink it. The wine of the wine of the dunya in the dunya we can't drink it. Because it intoxicates you and makes you stupid. Right? It intoxicates you and makes you stupid. So the wine of the dunya we're not allowed to drink it. Right? We're not allowed to drink it. But in hereafter, Allah SWT will give wine. And that means when you can drink and enjoy it, and you're not going to get intoxicated. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّنْ عَسَلٍ مُصَفًّى. And the rivers of pure honey. Rivers of pure honey. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ الثَّمَرَاتِ. And for them in it, in the Jannah, is all types of fruit. All types of fruits. وَمَغْفِرٌ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. And in forgiveness from their Lord. And forgiveness from their Lord. I mean, it's just what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the hereafter, Jannatul Adn, you know, the gardens of bliss, and it is so, you know, enjoyable that you can't imagine Allah says, "Ni'ma darul muttaqin." You know, so good is the abode of the muttaqin. Right? So good. I mean, but you can imagine, you know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions, yeah, and there are many ayahs like that, but we don't have the time to really to go in them. Rasulullah mentioned, you know, in the Jannah, he says there are things, you know, la'ina ra'at, things that eyes has never seen. Wala udhunun sami'at, or things that the ears has never heard about. Things that you never see, that have never been seen before. And things that you've never heard about. And things that has not even occurred to human imagination. I mean, when I heard that, I said, subhanallah. You know, it is subhanallah. I mean, that in Jannah, in the Jannah are things that never occurred to human imagination. You know what I mean? When they say human imagination is one of the most fantastic tools that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, our creator, has given to the human being. Imagination is one of the most fantastic tools as a child. Imagination is so fantastic. A child can, by themselves, they can create imaginary friends and play. And they can become whatever they want to become in their imagination. Whatever they want to be, they can be in their imagination. That's how fantastic the imagination is. And as you grow up, your imagination expands and grows till it becomes, your imagination comes sometimes, they say, wild, because you can, I mean, whatever you can imagine it is, so you can imagine it, you know. I mean, great inventors are people with fantastic imagination. Great inventors are people with fantastic imagination. Steve Jobs was a man of fantastic imagination, right? He was Syrian background. You know, his father was a Syrian. Yes, his father was Syrian. And most people don't know that, right? You know, give me the same. But his father was a Syrian, right? Steve Jobs' father was Syrian. So Steve Jobs has one of the most fantastic imaginations. Why you think Apple became what it was? Because of the imagination of this man. Imagination. Because if you can, as they said, if you can imagine it, you can conceive it. And if you conceive it, you can do it. That's what it says. If you can imagine it, you can conceive it. And if you can conceive it, you can do it.
If you can conceive and believe, you can achieve.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Bilal, you're on point. You are on point. That is the imagination is one of the most fantastic things. Most fantastic. People, you know, I can talk to other people on the other side of the earth and see what's going on the other side of the earth in real time because of human imagination. People can fly in the sky like a bird because of human imagination. So human imagination is one of the most fantastic tools that Almighty God Allah has given to the human being. So when I heard that the Prophet heard that hadith, that he says that Jannah has things that is beyond human imagination. SubhanAllah, I mean that is absolutely fantastic because you can't even conceive what he's talking about. You can't even conceive it. Okay, you conceive that goes beyond the human imagination. So Jannah had to be a really, 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 really fantastic place. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us all there.
Amen.
We pray that all the believers, all the God-fearing people, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put all believers, all God-fearing people, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them in the Jannah to Firdaus and give us all and give us a shape path, inshallah, and accept from us all the good deeds that we do and reward us with the Jannah to Firdaus. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.